back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a maxi dress with a flutter sleeve, and for that I'm going to be using this fabric. You might need about 4 yards of fabric, of Akara fabric. So let's get into the video. So guys, the next thing you're going to do is to cut out what you're going to use for the bottom half of the dress. So for me, if you're how you're going to check it is, if you want less flare, then go with 2 times your waist. If your waist is 30, let's say your waist is 32, go with 2 times that, and then that's how you're going to get the length, the width of what you're going to be using. For my length, I'm using all the length of the fabric because it's a maxi dress, so all the way to the floor. And if you want more gather, then go with 3 times your waist. If you want like make it like bulky, then 4 times your waist. So that's, for me, I'm using like 2 times my waist here. So I'm going to set this aside. So guys, I've cut that out. So the other piece of the fabric remaining is this here. So I'm going to fold it now. So I'm going to fold it into 2 this way. So guys, the width of the fabric here after folding it into 2 is my waist, my bust measurement, which is the widest part of my upper body, divided by 4. So that's going to be about, my bust measurement is 42, divided by 4 is 10.5. So 10.5 plus extra 1 inch, so that's 11.5 here. So the next thing you're going to check is your shoulder to waist. My shoulder to waist is 17 plus extra 1 inch is 18. So I'm going to mark that here. So the extra 1 inch I added to the length is for the 1/2 inch for attaching the shoulder and 1/2 inch for the bottom. So the next thing here is the shoulder measurement. So the shoulder measurement for me is 17, divided by 2 is 8.5. So I'm going to mark that here. So after that, the armhole is 20, divided by 2 is 10. So I'm going to mark it this way. So the next thing I'm going to check now is you remove about 1 inch from the shoulder to make your shoulder slope here. So you come down by 1 inch. The next thing is to go to your neckline here. So to the neckline, I'm going to mark about 3 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches. So 3 inches this way, and then also come down by about 3 inches this way to mark your normal neckline. But if you look at the picture, you see that it has a peep hole, like a keyhole neckline. So what I'm going to do is, so guys, the next thing I'm going to do, I decided to make it about 3 inches by 2.75. So I'm going to mark 2.75 here this way. So the next thing you're going to do is come down by about 4 inches. So this is my 4 inches here. And to make that peephole neckline, keyhole neckline, what you're going to do is mark like this way, right? This way for this part here. So guys, if this is the neckline, so I'm going to show you how you're going to mark it. You start from this point here, right? This point here is this line here. So what you're going to do is just go in this way, and then come out this way, almost like a semicircle, but the upper part of the circle is longer, and then you mark it down to the edge. So that's what I did here. And then you cut it out. So you cut it out this way. So before we cut it out, the waist measurement, so we already determined what the bust measurement is, right? So the bust measurement plus divided by 4 plus 1 inch, then the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches, 1 inch for your seam allowance and 1 inch for your darting. So that is going to leave me with, my bust measurement is about the waist is about 34 divided by 4, so that's going to give me 8.5 plus extra 2 inches, so that's going to leave me with 10.5. So I'm going to mark it here and then connect these 2 lines together. So I'm going to connect this together, and then from there I'm going to come here and then mark my armhole here. And remember, this is your front panel. So for the front panel, you check from this length to here what you have, 9. Halfway, the 9 that you have divided by 2, you're going to mark about 4.5 here, and then you come in by half an inch, right? So mark half an inch here and then connect it. If you have the curved ruler, connect it to this point and then also connect it to this point here. So this is what your front panel, but I'm not going to cut mine out until because I'm going to use this to cut the back panel. So now I'm going to cut everything out. So guys, now that I've cut out the front piece here, so this is what it looks like here. So this is it. Cut out this piece here. As you can see, I still left the half an inch here. So the next thing you're going to do is to cut your back panel. So for that, I've already folded my fabric into two again. So after folding it, the next thing you're going to do is just basically follow the line again this way. Follow all your lines and then leave about 1.5 inch or 1 inch midway for your zip allowance. So that's how you do it, 1.5 or 1 inch here, so that you can fold it when you're putting in the zip. So guys, now that I've traced out the whole back neckline, what I'm going to do now is to come down at the neckline here by 1 inch here and then curve it this way. So this is going to be my back neckline. I'm going to cut it out. So guys, I've cut it out. So this is what my panel is looking like at the moment. So this is it here. So remember, we came down by 3 inches, marked this way, and then 3 inches by width. So cut out that this way, and then from this point here we came down by 4 inches or 4.5, it depends on you, and then you mark the curved line here, you mark it and then you cut it out. So now I'm going to cut out this piece here for the armhole here. So remember how you do this is, after the shoulder slant, you check your tape from this point to this point, what you have left as your armhole, divide it by 2. Midway you have about, for me is 4.5. At that line of 4.5, which is this chop that I marked here, I came in about 0.5 inches, and then from here I connected my mark all the way up and then connected it all the way to blend in with this line. So that's basically it. I'm going to trace mine out now. So guys, this is what it looks like at the moment. So and for this and then this is my back panel. So now we are going to cut the sleeve. So guys, this is what it looks like. So to cut my flutter sleeve, I'm just going to fold my fabric this way, like make a triangle with it, and then the next thing I'm going to do is to check my armhole divided by 2. So for me it's 20 plus extra 1, that's going to be armhole divided by 2 is 10. That's 20 divided by 2, 10 plus 1, so that's about 11. Find where 11 fits in here, right? And then mark it. The 1 inch is for seam allowance, right? So you take your ruler and mark the line. So I'm going to try to mark mine now. So the next thing you're going to do is to come up for your sleeve cap. So mine is about 4 inches, so I'm going to come up by 4 inches here. And then the next thing you're going to do is to mark this line here and then make like a straight line all the way from this end here to this end, and then you find midway of this line. So mine is going to be about 4.5. I'm going to mark it here, and then after marking it here, from this point here you try to make like your curve here and then make your curve down here. And then after that, the next thing you're going, I already have a video on how to cut a flutter sleeve, so that's why I'm going through this quickly. So the next thing you're going to do is check what you want your length, the sleeve length to be. So for me, it's going to be 10 plus extra 1.5 for your seam allowance, so that's about 11.5. So you check it from your sleeve, the top of your sleeve cap, so 11.5. So take back your tape to this angle here and then know where the 11.5 fits in. So for me, it fits in at 22. So from that 22 mark, you just put your tape and start marking it all the way. So 22, 22, 22. So from this point here, you mark all your sleeve, you mark all the lengths here, and then after that you trace out your sleeve, and then this is going to be already cut out here. So this is the sleeve I'm using. So guys, to cut out the facing I'm going to be using for this, because I don't like using lining. Where I am, the weather is mostly hot, so I just use the fabric itself. So what I'm going to do now is this fabric here, I'm going to place it here, and then my neckline. So I'm going to start from this point here. So mark out the line here, what I'm using as the neckline. So from this point now, I'm going to mark out about, let's say maybe 2 inches from here. and then go round all the way 2 inches, or you can make yours 2.5. It depends on you. So I'm using 2 inches for me. So this here is going to be my facing, but the rest of the neckline I'm going to be using bias to just line the neckline, except this part here. So I'm cutting this out, right? And then the next thing I'm going to do is also cut out this hole here, right? I'm going to cut this out from this point here, trace it out. So basically what I'm going to do is go to the sewing machine, open this up here, place it right side facing each other, right side facing each other, and then make my start sewing on it, right? After sewing on it, after making my stitch all the way around, I'm going to like make a notch all the way so that it's not too, so that I can release the tension. And then after that, I'm going to tuck this back in and make a stitch on top. So I'm going to tuck this back in all the way. As you can see, I still have to open up this here because the one behind is open. So I'm going to just make a stitch and then tuck it back in. And then when I'm done, I'm going to cut out a piece of fabric as my bias and then use it to line it. That's after joining the back and the front together. So guys, see what this looks like at the moment. So this is the inside. So after flipping it out, I made a stitch on top. So if you look closely, you will see the stitch that I made all the way around, right? And then I used a piece of bias. I already have a video on how to use make your own bias and how to put it in. So see, I used it here, finished up the neckline. So right now this is where I am. So this is the neckline at the moment. I've attached my sleeve too. I've attached the bottom. So the only thing left now is to put in the zip, and I'm done. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and put in my zip right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.